Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about how to edit your pictures. So here I'm in the library module, and one of the things I talked about yesterday, I'm going to repeat it, is that I strongly encourage you to pick your pictures, and the hotkeys to pick your pictures are P, and the ones you want to reject, and I really do pick and reject are the main ones that I like to use. There are others. You could, like I said, use the stars, etc. But here's something that I really like. You can press the tab key, and it shows you a bigger picture. And I also showed you this yesterday. Can somebody go get the phone, please? And there you get a really good feel for the picture. Okay? So I'm going to click on the tab key and the L, because it's really about the picture, right? You're trying to pick your best pictures. So I can't remember if I picked these yesterday. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick just a couple. Yes? Okay, I'm recording. Just a couple. I'd like to pick, let's go here. So I'll pick this one. And then, I don't know, it depends what you're looking for. You pick the ones that have the look you're looking for. This one's a little dark, so I'm going to pick this one. And let me pick a different, that's kind of a dumb picture. I don't know what I was thinking there. Okay. See, this one's got an interesting kind of, I'm going to go see if I have some from outside. I think I did all these indoors. There, this one has a color lighting I'm looking for. Okay? And here you go. I'm going to go develop. So it's going to, and I could have right-clicked here and said, okay, well, this is the first time I opened this one here. And you guys, you can look at this a little more carefully because you got your presets show up over here. Remember 2 seconds ago I showed you when you import them, you can apply the preset to all of them in one shot. Or what a lot of people do is they apply a preset after the fact over here. They'll say, well, you know what, I need some color to here, and I'm going to just add it on, okay? But I really actually want to start by talking about the panel here. And, you'll watch videos online on Lightroom, and a lot of people have different ways to edit these. First thing you should know is this. Are your pictures in JPEG format, which is pretty much what I've let you guys do for now, and let's leave it that way for now? Or are they in what's called camera raw? And camera raw is like, the picture is just gigantic with all the details and all the information, and it's never been compressed. That's what it basically means, okay? Well, if it's in JPEG, the camera has already compressed it. Now, what you need to understand is if you're shooting in camera raw, you'll have different information that's going to be picked up by Lightroom. So you don't, it's important for now to just keep it in JPEG. I mean, you can start experimenting, but usually if you're taking pictures that you want to become a real archive for later on, it could be used to make gigantic posters, etc., you would use camera raw, okay? The problem is our computers are terrible, so we have no storage, and if you're shooting camera raw, the D drive will get filled up in 5 minutes. And I'm not really exaggerating, because the files are big. Okay? What I usually do, and there's different, different schools of thought on this, but I usually start with basic, because I find most of what I need is in the basic panel. Okay? And temperature is pretty obvious. It makes the picture look warmer, or it makes it look cooler. Maybe you're going for an effect. And when, you guys have already played around with this a little bit in Photoshop. See, I prefer warm looking pictures. Tint changes the color tint. I don't touch that very often. You often hear the term overexposed. What overexposed means is the picture's just way too bright, way too much light. Sometimes when you're outside, it's overexposed. This picture is definitely not overexposed. An underexposed picture would look like this. And one thing you'd want to know is if it's in a raw format, you can really recover the picture in any way you want. Okay. While if it's in JPEG, so right over, see, I'm making it a little brighter. Okay, so just a little bit. Contrast, I don't need to touch this. Highlights, well, it kind of goes and gets some of the highlights in the pictures, and Makes it a little bit better. Shadows are your blacks. Okay, let's see. I don't know. I really wouldn't touch them for this picture, so why don't I just leave it? Here's a cool thing here that adds a lot of snap to your pictures. So whenever you're, I do this with all my pictures because you can't see it with the naked eye. So you press on the Alt key and click here, and it shows you your whites. And sometimes you'll take a picture outside, and it'll be it'll be like this. That's way too white. So white is like, I don't know if you saw with the GX1s when you take a picture, there's kind of like a blinking light that happens sometimes. That's because it's way too white. So with those pictures, you should take them down. And it's hard, like this one's not too bad. So the window is obviously going to be a little too much. I'm going to leave it there, -7. I'm going to do the same thing with the blacks. Can you guys pay attention, please? So I'm going to bring it up just a little bit here. Let's see. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. So, and it's, again, I'll try this, and then I'll look. The before and after key, I'm getting a blank here. What is it again? I'll have to look after. So what I do is there's always a before and after key, and I think this one here does it too. There's actually a hotkey. Like, look at this picture. Way nicer than this one. Like, this picture I would almost delete, while now it's like, it's so much better. Okay, a few other things. I talked about this, I think, with you guys, but it might have been a grade 10. Clarity is one of these things photographers kind of are, there's a few rule of thumbs. Usually if it's a woman, you don't add much clarity, because what it does is it brings in a lot of detail on their faces. So if I zoomed in, you're going to see like way too much detail. While if I go like this, it softens the skin. You know, and as a general rule, guys, you know, if you're trying to show like their, you know, manly features or something, you might show a little more clarity, while with girls, you know, generally they prefer, and especially in portraits. So you see, like, it just doesn't look as good here, frankly. So I'm going to bring him over here, even for him, okay? Because obviously, as a little bit of that, whatever, as a photo, you want to make sure he looks, they look their best. Here there's two main things. Don't touch saturation much. Vibrance does the same thing as saturation, except it respects skin tones. While if you play with saturation, let's just see what happens. It just changes everything. We played a lot with saturation in Photoshop, and it's had kind of cool effects. You can reproduce some of those here. But look at vibrance. The skin tone will sort of still keep some of its quality. It's a little too vibrant here. I could drop it just a little bit. All right. I'm going to show you another panel I really like, and I'm going to zoom out here. Is this one. Why are they not activated here? What's going on? Not sure. I usually add a vignette effect in here. Not available, so I'll just stop it there. So that's it for today. So one of the things that you can do is, if you like the effect here, you notice there's a little icon on this picture. This means I touch this up, okay? If I like this effect, what I can do is I can select a couple pictures. So I press the control key. I'm going to select this picture. Look what happens when you click sync. So I'm going to click sync, and this is where the power Lightroom is. So all those pictures that I click, and it could be, by the way, I could click Control All and do it to all of them. Okay? But look at this picture. It touched it up in the exact same way. Well, that one I'm not going to keep. It looked kind of funny or whatever. This is a little bit. She got her. I think she had this one here. So I'm going to sync this one too. Take it easy, Colton. Yeah, let me go and apply it to this one. So I have to click the picture that has the effect, and it's going to apply it to that one. It's a little slow here. Anyways, I'll stop it here. And what you need to understand is you can apply your effect to all your pictures, all 60 of them in one shot, which is really powerful. I'm not going to talk about presets today, but we'll look at that another